Reekz Boxing podcast. Here with my boy, Rory.
What's happening, everyone? How are you, Rico?
Leaving me hanging
there.
there.
a little bit. It's early, man.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
early.
This is early in the morning. It's got me out of my bed. But do you know what? We had to get it done. And yeah, this has been in the making for a while.
I did ring you ages ago for this one.
Yeah, he did actually. Since I started, you know, he's given me so much advice on angles I can go at and ways to improve, because with this whole internet stuff, podcast stuff, I'm a novice. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm learning as we go, and I think I'm getting better.
You cracked the hard part, was getting it onto iTunes, mate. Because
Yeah.
I struggled with that, but you done that bit without my advice. But yeah, no, you're doing a good job, Reed. You got it going, man. You got it going.
Oh, thank you.
And this is early doors. This is on a Sunday morning.
Morning. Funny enough, I'm not gonna mention his name, but I put up on Instagram that I'm gonna early start tomorrow, up at 8 o'clock. Message me, you're not really up at 8 o'clock. You're right. I said, no, I have no need to lie, no need to lie whatsoever. So yeah.
No, you're up, man. You're up. This was me as well, because I rang Rico, and was like, Rico, come on, let's get a podcast going Sunday morning. I quite like getting up now. I don't know what's happened to me, but I like getting in the whole day. I like enjoying the whole day instead of waking up late and then it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, we're going to bed soon. Do you know what I mean? So I like getting out and getting things done. And podcasts, I love them.
So what, no problems at home while you went to get out?
No. I might have woke a few people up. I might have upset the kids, but my boy walked down actually. He looked at me like, why are you up? It's Sunday, why are you up? But yeah, no, podcasts are good, man. I listen to podcasts all the time. So I thought I wanted to be on Reekz. And I called you a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy because you were like, all right, let's set up a date. And then we both wouldn't contact each other. Like, date would pass. And it's like, okay. Then you go, hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah, let's get a date set in. And then the date would pass.
When was it we first actually came across each other in the boxing world, as in training?
It was down at the Hurlingham Club with Rory.
That's a good few years back.
Yeah, probably around 3 years.
It must be, yeah. Because coaching wise, it's been about 3 years for me, touching 4.
Yeah, we've been in the same area, but we've never like come across each other, like cross paths. But yeah, that's where
I come across your left hand a couple of times.
I come across your.
I didn't see him coming. The speed was real, mate.
Thank you.
When did you I'm going to ask a question first. I'm going to take over for a little bit. When did you first start boxing, Rico?
I first started boxing. I think I had my first ever session March 2014. Down at the Fit Rooms on Northern Road.
Yeah.
With Mark Porter. He was like my old youth worker in the Brunswick, and I just wanted to get into it. It was a thing where I had one session when I was around 10 years old. Coach at All Stars, he brought me down. He's like my neighbour, lives along the balcony. He was like, come with me, you'll enjoy it. At this time I was just football mad, like most kids.
Most people, yeah.
Gone down to All Stars. I've done one session and I was like, this is not for me. It's too hard. I just didn't like it. I didn't even spar or anything. The fact I was hitting it, I just felt like didn't really know what I was doing. And also it was so hard. It was so hard. Like growing up, I'd been a kid that got into a lot of fights, so the whole fighting aspect didn't scare me. It was just
hard.
Yeah, it was just hard. Literally, it was not like football. And at the time, I'd never played for a football team. I was like an estate player.
Okay.
So playing in the park, Reekz, he's good at football. Like, who'd you play for? Like, no, I didn't really know how to get into a football team. And I kind of just stayed away from the whole boxing. But then I've done a lot of like semi-pro football, tried a few other things, and I'd find that every evening I'd come home and I'd be on YouTube, I'd be watching boxing, football, or funny videos. And so boxing always, it always gripped me, but I never got into it until, as I say, in March. At this time, I quit football a few years. Well, I quit semi-pro football a few years before. Didn't like the training. Didn't like how much commitment you had to give to actually get in the starting 11.
The politics.
Exactly. Like, you're working a 9 to 5. You finish work, you're sitting in traffic for 2 hours, travelling down to Surrey. You're getting there half an hour late, and they're like, well, you know, Saturday you're on the bench and you're only getting half your money. I'm thinking, now I'm paying to play football. Nah, it didn't appeal to me. So, yeah, the boxing was local. And yeah, I just loved it, man. I loved the whole aspect, like the mental side of it. When you actually get into it and you're getting better and better and better, and you're listening, because I'm a person that I can take constructive criticism. I always have through football. Someone tells me, Rico, do you know what? You should do it like this. I listen. Even if I may be, in my opinion, a better player than them or a better boxer than that person, they can see me. I can't see me. So, yeah, man, I just...
And you never lose it, do you? You never lose that, like, adrenaline rush, sparring. Or when you're hitting a bag, you always want to do a little bit more. You don't really lose that. It's a constant thing. It's like, for me, the training's different with football, because obviously when you first make that transition from football to boxing, you're using all the new muscles. So when you first get in there, it happened with me. I was a goalkeeper, and which is why I think I slipped into boxing a lot more. It's because I'm in goal. There's no one behind me to back me up. If I mess up, it's my fault. The goals come down to me, and that's the same with boxing. You can make one mess up and lose a fight because of it. Do you know what I mean? So I think I slipped in because of that. What gym was you at first?
So started at Fit Rooms in Northern Road, and then they closed that down because they made it into Easy Gym.
I remember Fit Rooms. I was there at Fit Rooms.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, where can I go? Spoke to a few people in the area, and they were like, oh, there's a club down Sands End. Like, I don't think it was called the Hernan Club at the time. It may have been.
No,
I'm
it
not
was
so sure it was Sands
End.
End. Yeah, Sands End. So I went down there, and a guy called George was running that club, and yeah, there was loads of boxers there at the time, like loads of boxers. There's people that's actively fighting, and I remember looking around thinking, oh, this is a proper boxing gym. I like this, you know, hitting the bag, and I'm now looking around, learning from people, thinking, okay, I'm seeing people spar. I'm thinking, I only done like a little few touch spars, nothing real intense at the Fit Rooms, because everyone was still like learning, and I thought, oh, I want to get in the ring, kind of thing. And I remember getting in the ring with this young guy, I forgot his name, but he was one of those, he was like you, like literally head down, walking me down, throwing bombs. And I found that, I don't know if it's through, well, it is through football, I believe anyway, my footwork from years and years of playing football
Definitely,
has given me the footwork to box, so I'm able to move, and I'm very agile. I was a very quick footballer, and yeah, I was moving and I was jabbing and moving. I was thinking, oh, like I'm all right. But once he got me, then I kind of just, as you do, you kind of cower up. And there's a thing that only sparring can get you through that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people think that, do you know what, like, I don't know how am I ever going to get over that fears. The more and more you're in there, the more and more you see the punches coming, the more and more
you become fight fit as well.
Exactly. And because I have this saying that I say to people whenever I'm like in the gym with someone, or I'm trying to convince someone to come boxing, or the few people that I've started training, I say, look, there's a scale. At one end, they're scared to get hit, and then there's not wanting to get hit. When you start, you're right, scared to get hit. No matter how big and bad you are, you're not on the street now. You're in the ring. There's rules. And you see it all the time. Someone gets hit, they look away, they won't keep their eyes on the opponent. And the more and more you do it, you move along the scale. And I say once you get over the 50% mark, where you're closer to the not wanting to get hit, that's when you become a boxer. Because now you start anticipating things, you're watching for things, you're concentrating, your mind. You start to realize that boxing is more about the mental side than the physical. And that's where I love it. It blows my mind.
And that's good for someone that thinks about just starting boxing, like, because when you first start sparring, you don't want to get punched in the face because you think it's going to hurt, my nose is going to break, my lips going to get busted up, my eyes going to go black, and blah blah. They'll be worrying about all them things, but you're in a boxing ring. You're going to get punched in the face, whether you like it or not. You're going to get punched, and once you feel it and you think it's not as bad as what I thought. I mean, I don't want to get hit, but it's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And then that's when you start slipping, rolling, and you start moving. You think, oh, actually, I can get away from these punches. But I think it's something you have to go through as a boxer. I always say when I coach new guys and it's their first spar, just enjoy it. Just get in there and enjoy it. And when they come out, most of them are thinking, I didn't know if I like that or not. But the more that you talk to them and you say, like, look, you're going to get hit. Just keep enjoying it. Come back, we'll work on that, and then come back again and try that and try that. And then they start slipping in. But the minute you get, it's addictive. Boxing's addictive. Because it's not every day you go out there and you'll be fighting on the street. Whereas you go in a boxing club, you're more than likely, further down the line, you're going to be getting in the ring. You're going to be getting hit.
I think there's nothing like fighting as well, in the sense of the adrenaline rush you get from it. It's instinctive as people to fight, to defend yourself, like fight or flight. We're conditioned to either run or stay there and fight. So when you're able to release that adrenaline in a controlled environment, it's like, wow, that feels so good.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's controlled.
Exactly. And there's many people that have come to the boxing gym that's never had a fight in their life. Ever. And they get hooked because they're just like, wow, this is...
Well, to be honest, Rico, when I was younger, I never really used to fight. Never. I got in the boxing ring and I got in the boxing club. I slipped in. I just slipped in. It wasn't... But I was never out there fighting. I didn't come from a violent background.
Yeah.
For me, it was just, I quite enjoy it. Putting my hands up, but it's a sport. I'm not saying I'm not going out there saying, yeah, I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter. I enjoy boxing. It's my sport and I enjoy it. I like watching it, I like learning it, and I like coaching it. And a lot of people do it, and that's what stops a lot of people going into a boxing gym, because they think it's going to be full of violent guys that want to fight all the time, and they're going to want to knock me out and prove a point. And boxing gyms, you're going to get some out there.
Yeah.
You're going to get some out there. But if you was thinking about this, to anyone listening, if you was thinking about joining a box, just find a nice one. Go in, try it out, and get on with it. But it is a gentleman's sport. It is. There are idiots out there. There's idiots in the football world. There's idiots in the rugby world. There's idiots all over the place. But in general, boxing, you do look out for each other. Like, you want to make each other better. Like, if I was sparring someone and they was doing something, I would say, like, keep your foot on the floor when you're throwing your right, just twist. Like, I would be talking to them, obviously, because I coach. But in general, like, even if you was touch sparring with someone, you would correct them, because you want them to be better, because it is that kind of sport, which is why I love it. I do love it. When was your first ABA fight?
Ooh. My first fight was...
Because obviously you was taking it way more serious then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was like, right, let's get going.
I'm taking it serious now.
No, as in, I mean, yeah.
Not some part-time.
As in, taking it up as a sport.
Yeah.
I mean, from the transition of starting and then thinking, you know what, I want an ABA fight. That's what I meant.
So at this point, I'd moved on. It was 2015. I had my December the 13th, 2015. I had my first fight.
Yeah, you won that as well in a nice...
Yeah, let me talk about that. So, yeah. I can talk about this one.
Tell him.
Yeah, pull this a bit forward. Yeah, so what happened? I'd moved on to the Hammersmith Boxing Academy in the college, where I'm back at now, funny enough. And yeah, a lot of the boxers from the Hurlingham club had moved over to Hammersmith. So I kind of like followed them over there. And obviously at the time, the coaches would jump from club to club. Like, there was a coach, Rory, who was at Sands End, and he'd be at Hammersmith, so it kind of drew me over there as well. And Well, actually, leading up to my fight, this is another thing actually I didn't mention. When I was playing football, when I was 16, I subluxed my shoulder, so it came out and went straight back in, and I've had shoulder problems ever since. Like even to this day now.
Still now as well.
It's a lot better. Boxing's brought it on, where I had loads of physio. They give me all these strengthening exercises, but then something would just go wrong. And I found with boxing, where I was throwing punches with the right technique, it started to build the muscles around there, all the conditioning work. Like when I first started boxing, I couldn't throw my left hand at all. And I'm a southpaw. So it's
not good.
exactly that. I had no power hand. Literally, I was even to this day now, a lot of people say to me, oh, you don't throw your left hand as much. Because it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
But when I'm ready to throw it, I throw it. And I will throw it. And so boxing, started building up my shoulder. Throughout that first year, got injured, like 2014, missed about 2 months, got back in again, shoulder got injured again, started again 2015, shoulder got injured again, so I missed like most of summer, not boxing. And then I started to come on, I started to spar a few guys. There's one kid there, I sparred him for the first time in Hammersmith because I wasn't allowed to spar when I first went there because you had to show that you were technically ready to spar. Got in the ring with him, he's probably had about 15 fights. He had a fight coming up in like a month and a half. Put me in the ring with him and I boxed his head off.
Really?
Just boxed his head off. Like I was too quick for him, just too sharp. It was weird really. And when we got out the ring, he was like, how many fights have you had? And I was like, I ain't had a fight. He's like, what? I was like, no. He goes, how long have you been boxing? And tell a lie. I'd only been boxing, I think about 7 months at this time. So this is like late 2014. So I just came over to Hammersmith and I literally begged to get in the ring. And he goes, I'll give you one thing. So he threw me in, like Dougie. And I boxed his head off. And the guy was just like surprised. He was like, oh, I've had like 15 fights. I got a fight next month. I was like, okay, that's good. And the following month, he quit boxing and pulled out of his fight. And I don't know.
That played a mental game.
Yeah, whereas the thing of like, this guy's just started boxing. He's boxed my head off. Maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. And that's why I've learned now, if I'm in the ring with someone that I'm better than and they're just starting, I'd never take the piss. Like, if I'm hitting them and I feel, you can see they're getting disheartened, I'll just step back and I'll put my hands up and I let them throw some shots. Like, you've even said it where I'm on the ropes and someone's throwing a shot, get off the ropes, Rico. Yeah. But I'm doing it on purpose because it's like, I can move, but sometimes I just let him hit me. It's for him. Like, I feel like I'm not going to gain anything else by rushing him. Yeah. So I've kind of like just got off. But so towards the end of 2015, I built myself up. I was also training down at the Combat Temple with Anthony Campbell.
Good guys down there.
Oh, lovely guys. Yeah. Master Reza, who does the kickboxing there. They really brought me on. Obviously, I knew about that place through my friend Ashley Campbell, who I went to school with, who's Anthony's son. And they taught me how to fight, where I was learning how to box, but they actually showed me how to fight. Like, I'd be in the ring with Ashley, and he put me in the corner, and he started digging me. And he'd be like, Rico, look at me, relax, no, that's it, block it. And I got to the point where I'm so comfortable being on the ropes with my hands. I'm in this mentality that I tell people, even before they go into fights, I'm like, listen, if all else fails, put your hands up and you can't be hurt. As long as your hands are here, you won't get hurt. And that's the mentality I give to people. Obviously, shots do get through, but if you're confident in your defense, that's part of it, because you stay relaxed. Someone's putting the pressure on you, stay relaxed. So they got me ready. And there was a fight down at York Hall. There's this new Contender Series, which England Boxing had just started to roll out, where everyone under 5 fights could fight at York Hall. Because generally at this time, unless you were an elite amateur or a pro, you wouldn't fight at your call. Like it was a thing where it was prestige.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fight at your call, you have to be of some sort of standard to fight there. And they wanted to roll it out so that everyone can get there. So they had this show coming up, and I was like, look, I want to be on it, but I didn't get matched beforehand. So they was like, look, you can come along as a standby. So
is that? Oh, I never knew that.
yeah, so I went down as a standby. I remember like there were so many people there, like weighed in early. Like I think I was 63.5, and at this point I never ran. I just didn't run. I was just doing the boxing training, thinking, yeah, I'm good enough. People were telling me you need to run, but I just thought, yeah, I'll run once in a while. But I didn't really run because I thought I had that natural fitness from football. Football gave me that full sense, whereas like
because I could run for 90 minutes, I'll be alright for 6 minutes or whatever.
Exactly. So I remember like I didn't have any friends there, no one, because I was a standby. I didn't know if I was gonna fight. So I remember I was there. Got weighed in. Everyone that know they're gonna fight, they're kind of like, everyone's happy, but you're quietly sitting there thinking, what's happening? Like twiddling my fingers, and all of a sudden, fight list has gone up. They go, oh, fight list is up. So everyone's kind of looking, and I'm kind of in the background. You know what it kind of reminds you of? When, see if you've been on a night out with your mates, and you're the driver, and you're walking back to your car, and you're kind of looking to see if anyone's broken into your car or see if you've got a ticket. Everyone's walking back, they're enjoying something. In the back of your mind, you're like, have I got a ticket? Is someone broken into my car?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so I was kind of like looking from the back, so everyone's kind of looking at what thing. I looked and I thought, oh my God, I'm fight number 6. I told myself, oh my God, fight number 6. And then I remember at the time, I called my girlfriend at the time. I was like, I'm fight number 6. She's like, I'm coming down there. And she, I think, obviously I've messaged a few of my boys. And one of my boys was driving from Fulham, so he picked her up, they came, so it was only them two that came to my fight. I remember out the back warming up and started to get those butterflies, as you do, like feeling nervous, but I felt good. I felt from the training I had with, like down at Combat Temple, the actual fighting I was doing, along with the training I was getting at Hammersmith, I just felt that if it's this person's first fight, it's my first fight, there's no way he's gonna beat me. I feel like I'm way too prepared for this, and mentally, I was ready. I needed to get out there, and yeah, man, just went out there. Like first round, I just came out, just started boxing, like just
getting rid of the nerves.
Yeah,
trying anyway.
But the thing is, you could see he was very nervous. He wasn't very technically good. He was lunging in a lot, and I was able to just take a step back. And I don't think he touched me in the fight.
Just went your way.
Yeah, I think it was probably about a minute and 15 seconds. Just dropped him with a body shot. And yeah, he didn't get back up. Like, and
boom.
I was kind of, yeah, it was crazy because I was throwing a few jabs to the body. Like, I love a little body jab. A few jabs to the body, moving out of range, not engaging at all, because that's again the nerves. I'm thinking, I'm thinking in my mind, I need to pace myself. I've never been here before. As you say, football, there's 90 minutes, so you pace yourself to get to the 90. I'm thinking 3 rounds, I have to pace myself to get there. I don't want to I've never been here before. And so I'm moving, few jabs. Again, haven't thrown a left hand at all, staying out of range. And then at one point, like, I backed up to the corner through just like fainting and him just giving up ground. And I remember like I threw a body shot, come up with a left hook. I thought, ooh, that was nice. He came back out again. I stepped back, missed again. And then at this point, the fight wasn't the greatest fight, because you've seen a few tear-offs before. And you could...
Sounds more technical though. Sounds way more technical.
No, it was, but you can hear, like, I couldn't hear it, but after when I watched the video, you can hear people saying, come on, Rico, let your hands go, come on. And then there's a few, like, murmurs from the crowd, like, oh, like... No, it really was. When you watch it back, it's just like, it wasn't the most entertaining fight. And if it would have went 3 rounds like that, I would have probably got booed out. Because, as you say, you don't really expect that.
But you've got to do what you've got to do in there, Rico. Even when people boo, like you see it on You see it in boxing, on the UFC you see it, boo! But they're not in the ring. When you're in there, you don't want to get tagged. That's the aim. Do not get tagged. So you're waiting for the right time to move, the right time to throw. So yeah, I can imagine it being like you probably thought like you probably didn't even hear that.
Didn't hear it.
You don't hear nothing. You don't hear a pin drop.
And yes, he moved around again, and then I dodged a few more shots, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, no, I need to step this up, and I kind of like rushed him with like a 1-2, and he's gone back to the ropes, and his hands were up, and I literally just done right hook, left hook, like 2 body shots, and then went for the head one, and he's gone down, and I was kind of like, really? Like I turned around, but I was walking around thinking, yeah. And in my mind, I'm in the corner as the ref's counting, and I'm like, get up. Like, and then they've gone to throw in the towel, the ref waved it off because he couldn't get up. And I was just, even though I'm walking in my mind, I was thinking, I trained so hard for that.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even get hit. I didn't even get to, it sounds stupid. Like,
now,
at the time, I'm thinking, I didn't even get to the end of the first round. I wanted to actually sit in the corner mid-round and feel what it feels like to be sitting there, the coach telling you what's going on, and then get back up and go again. And yeah, man, it was really good. It was such a good feeling.
Yeah.
It was such
nothing
a good
like
feeling.
any football game you've played.
Nah, nothing. The feeling was great. I remember just there, everyone was like, Rico, and yeah, it was great.
Do you know what it is as well? You like getting in the ring. I respect every boxer, whether it's one of my boxers or their opponents. I respect every single person that steps in the ring, and I think a lot of that feeling of that is a massive achievement is because you stick your neck on them. You put your neck on the line. You could get knocked out
in front of all your friends.
And that's for men and women that fight. That's a big thing. You don't want to get knocked out. That's the last thing you want. Even a body shot. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather get punched in the face than get punched in the body because I think it's just the worst feeling in the world. It is. It's the worst feeling in the world. But I think that's part of the adrenaline rush of it's dangerous. You're there. It could go ridiculously wrong. You could die.
Exactly.
You can die, and you're willing to put. So I respect everyone that gets in and does it. I think it's just a big achievement. Whatever level it is, I think it's just such a big thing. And then that was it. Then from then on, Rico, what happened next?
Do you know what? Funny enough, this is
training.
Nah, do you know what it is? So we had the Christmas period. I don't think I trained at all. I was working over New Year's. I think I came back. I had like one session. I was working again like a weekend, and then we had a Butlins weekender planned for my friend's birthday. So we done the whole weekend there. I was drinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, we all booked off work on Monday, and then we had our first session back at Hammersmith on the Tuesday. So I've turned up now. My coach is like, "Oh, we got another fight, another show's come up. You're cool this Sunday. Like, we can match you, but you know, obviously you haven't been training. We haven't seen you." I was like, "No. I've been training. Like, I've been training. I've been doing everything." He goes, "Oh, have you?" I said, "Yeah, I've been down at the other club. I've been doing my stuff." He's like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay." He's put me into spar against one of the boxers that was there. He was amateur, had like 50 fights at the time, like very good amateur, and we only done 2 rounds. But in those 2 rounds, I looked very good against him. I looked very sharp. And my coach was like, "Yeah, do you know what?
Let's do it.
Yeah, you're looking good. I'll put you in." Obviously, I know deep down I hadn't been training, but I thought, do you know what? First fight, knock the guy out. It'll be this guy's probably his second fight or his first fight.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that good. Like, I know I can get through it.
I was there. That
Oh, was you?
Yeah. So I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so I remember everything was off. The preparation. We was all sitting down, and behind the curtain up on the stage, this was again at York Hall, all the Rectum boys were up there, and they were warming up for about half an hour. We was just all sitting there. I remember I had a chocolate bar. I was eating a chocolate bar, sitting there, and then all of a sudden, they were like, "The fight list has gone up." I was like, "Cool." I looked over. I was like, oh shit, I'm fight number 2. And then all of a sudden, the guy for fight number 1, he was about to walk out. I was like, shit. I was like, we need to go get ready. I'm fight 2. And then I think I had my hands wrapped at this point. Run out the back. I was skipping, doing press ups, burpees. I rushed my warm up. I just wasn't ready. And I've now walked out. But again, in my mind, I'm thinking, I got this, man. Light work. Walking down, thinking, yeah, I'm the man. Walks in the ring, look across, and this guy from Repton I was fighting. And that didn't faze me anyway. I didn't really care, what uniform he's wearing. I thought, yeah, I'm going to beat this guy. Doesn't matter. Got too much power. I thought I just knocked this guy out. I got
Coming
this.
off a serious win here, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And but funny enough, when I weighed myself, when I got weighed, I was 62 and a half. So I was right in the middle of the 2 weight classes. So I hadn't been keeping track. I was light anyway. And I remember it. I remember standing there. Obviously bring us together to talk to us. I don't make eye contact anyway. That's my little thing. I don't make any eye contact with anyone until the bell goes, because that's when I switch on. So the bell's gone, I've come out, I threw a body shot to start with, and I like to spring in and out. As I've landed, hit the body shot, as I stepped out, my legs were like jelly. I was like, what? And then he's literally rushed me, and I've gone back into the corner, and I was just like, wow, okay. This guy's trying to hurt me. And then I threw another body shot, which he blocked, and then he come up with a hook, uppercut hook, which I blocked. But it was I felt it as I blocked it. I was like, okay, this is serious now. And then it's just my legs, as I was moving back, I could see from the video, my legs had almost stiffened up. I was when it felt like jelly, I was almost holding my leg. I had no bounce, nothing. And it just turned into a brawl. And it's yeah.
He was quite. He was on the front foot the whole fight.
Yeah.
He didn't. I don't think he didn't let you give you time to set your. He didn't let you get into your flow, because you're the type of fighter that once you get into your flow, it's going to be very hard to break you down. Because I know you as a boxer, and what he done was, I'm not going to let him set. I don't know whether he watched the first one or that's just the way.
I think that's what might have happened.
Because he literally run at you. In some of the times he was fucking running. Do you know what I mean? And he just didn't let you get into your rhythm. And you as a fighter, once you get that rhythm going, it's going to be very hard to beat you. And he broke it. He basically in his head he was like, I'm not going to let him get into his rhythm. But it was a good 3 rounds though.
Yeah, and again, that's where. When I'm in there and I'm thinking, I wasn't jabbing, I wasn't doing anything technical. I was throwing shots from my hip and missing. He was also throwing big shots and missing. And every time we got close, it was a wrestling match. And in my mind, I was thinking, I feel absolutely finished. My legs, I have no energy. But then I was like, do you know what? He won't hurt me, because I trust my defense. So I'm I know I can get through these rounds. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I just hope I catch him with something and he goes down. Because I thought, right now, I can't outbox him because I can't move. My legs feel like jelly and lead at the same time. I'm just, Rico, just catch him. Just keep doing what you're doing and catch him. I remember there was a point in the 2nd round and 3rd round where he had me backed up against the ropes and he was throwing shot. And from the outside, it looks like he was just hammering me. But obviously the ref could see, but where he's throwing it, I'm blocking. And I'm blocking. So, but that works as a pro, not in the amateurs. It doesn't look good.
No.
Obviously I learned that after, but at the time I was so confident in being there that I was just yeah, I'll block it, but it's doing nothing for me. Then when he'd finished, he stepped back, and that's when you went to rush him. I couldn't do anything. And obviously lost on a unanimous decision. It wasn't even close. You know what I mean? You know, like there was no arguments from anyone. The bell went at the end. He started celebrating. I just walked to my corner. I was like, I'm tired, man. And that was the wake up call I needed. And where I was lucky, where a lot of people aren't, is that I didn't get hurt. So I was able to have a boxing wake up call where, do you know what, this is serious.
A learning curve.
Yeah, you can't just turn up and think you're just gonna beat someone. Like, you have to put in the work. You have to run. You have to run. Because I remember after speaking to some of his club mates who were there at my first show that remember my first round win, they was like, oh, unlucky today, man. You didn't really look yourself. I was like, no. I said, bro, I was tired. I said, I haven't trained since my last fight. And he's like, oh, no, we can see. But he runs like 5-6 times a week. And he does like 5 miles every time he runs, and he does sprints. So they was like, you done well to get through if you haven't trained. Like, so I felt like that gave me confidence that his club mates respected me for the fact that they saw what I'd done before. They saw how I survived this one without getting hurt. And the fact that I said I didn't train, and it was just like, you've done really well for someone that didn't train. We can see you look nothing like your last fight. So you can see I didn't train. And even after Dougie, my coach at the time, was like, I knew you wasn't ready, but I put you in there to give you a wake up call. But he's like, I know how good defensively you are. I can't even say it. Defensively you are. That I know you're good enough to not get hurt, but you needed that wake up call, like, to get it in your brain. He's like, you've got so much talent if you work hard. Maybe, who knows, like, you could be in the Haringey Box Cup by the end of next season. Who knows where it can go? And yeah, that woke me up. I was like, you know what, this is not a game. Like, you don't play boxing. Do
you think that's where because when you first started boxing, you was a natural, as in you pick things up quicker than other people, that you thought, this is easy for me, but it's tricky, isn't it? Because it's a dangerous mindset when you think you're better than like what you actually are, even though you was very, very, very good. You was like, okay, I can get through this without running, is what I mean. I can just get through this and I'll be alright, because technically I'm fast and I can hit because I'm stopped the first guy. But you do need them wake up calls, and it does make you a better person, a better boxer, a better person. Makes your discipline better. All around, it's made you a better person going through that. And like you said, you never got hurt.
Yeah,
which is the main thing. Yeah, it's again, it's. But going back to when you said about going down to Combat Temple and learning to fight, there is a difference with boxing and fighting. It's like I bring a lot of that into my coaching, because I find a lot of people, especially when they start again, is like you said earlier, when they look down at the floor, they panic, they put their hands too high, and then they block to the body like that. They do, which is normal because everyone starts somewhere. But if you can get rid of that quicker, I think people will progress at a much quicker rate, being able to watch their opponent block, watching instead of looking down. I think you'll come on way quicker, because that's what people don't like, is getting bombarded with hundreds of shots and not knowing how to cope with it, which is got you through that fight, really.
Yeah, exactly. Without that, I would have been in problems. Definitely.
You probably
We'll probably revert back to what most people do, is start throwing your hands, chin up in the air, just thinking,
get rid of him. Just move him away, because that's what you want. But realistically, you're trying to push him.
Yeah.
So if you learn to just guard up and be comfortable in the guard, that's my perspective on that. Is I bring a lot of that into my coaching. When you're sparring, let one person throw punches for 20 seconds while the other one guards up, and then mix it. The other one goes, just so they can't throw, and learn to guard up. Yeah, it's you see it in the pros a lot of the time. People have rest rounds. That's what a rest round is. Guard up. You're winning, just guard up more. Get your breath back, and then come strong the next round. Do you know what I mean? You see it in a lot of fights. You hear them, the commentators, rest round. Anthony Joshua does it a lot.
Oh, he does.
He has a lot of rest rounds.
He takes 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He does, but it works in his favour because he comes back stronger in the next few rounds, which is when he does finish a few people because he gets the rest.
I want to ask you though, how did you get into boxing?
When I was younger, my family was a boxing family. They never used to go around telling people, but it was always kind of in. Like my great uncle was a professional boxer. I've got my auntie's got a picture of him on the wall. He's standing there with the brown gloves, and so it was always in. I always used to mess around, and then I never told anyone that I went boxing because I just didn't like the thought of me going around saying, yeah, I'm a boxer, because all it does is attract people and they think, I want to. So I've kept it really quiet, Rico. And then the first club I actually ever went to was Marshall Fitness. Richard Haynes, lovely guy, really, really lovely guy. I've got so much respect for him. And he was my first coach. And I remember him saying to me, have you ever done boxing before? Same sort of thing, Rico. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay. You could just see just the natural movements.
Yeah.
And he got me in sparring straight away. I just picked it up. And then I went down to Sands End. And then I was with the amateurs. And I was doing all right. And then it was literally, I was doing fine with the training. And then George went, Rory, you're sparring today. I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And I got in and first shot the guy through, jab, and it hit me straight on the nose. Nose started bleeding, eyes started watering, and I literally, it's the first time I've ever really been punched hard in the face. And I just thought, shit, like, what do I do? But I didn't lose my temper. It was more, I've got to get you back with a good shot, but I knew my nose was bleeding bad. It was like, I could feel it running
down.
And I tried to keep my back to George because I didn't want him to see it, because I wanted to get my... And I always remember I just landed a massive left hook. And there was a guy watching and I heard him go, ooh. So I knew it was a good shot. You know when a lot of shot lands flush. And I landed it, and then he saw the blood and he stopped it. I was like, I wanted to carry on. I was buzzing because it was my first proper spar with someone that could properly box. And to be honest, I know this might sound silly, but ever since that spar, I got hooked because I was like, I can't let anyone be better than me. So I wanted to make myself better and better and better. So I started running, training harder. I was doing my own bits in my local gym. They had a boxing bag. I was getting on there and just doing my own little thing. And it just kind of went from there. Like properly, I did always train, but that was when I first started Sands End is when I thought, this is my sport.
This is what
I got rid of football. Like I was. And I am disciplined. I am disciplined when it comes to training. If I put my mind to something, I am really, really disciplined. And I just thought, you know what, I want to fight to take into coaching. I always knew I was going to be a coach, Rico. I never wanted to be a fighter. I never wanted to take 10 fights. It was always in my head, take the one fight, do your best. If I lost, I probably would have took another one. But I just thought I want to be able to talk to the kids and say, you're going to feel the butterflies. Your legs will feel like jelly. I want to tell them, because it happens to everyone on their first fight, I think a lot of people get their nerves and it just gets your body. So I wanted to go through it so I can give it to the beginners. And I talk about it now to them. You're going to feel your butterflies. Yeah, but Rory, how do I get rid of them? I personally used to stand up and shadow box in my room. Before the fight, 2 days before the fight, I was standing up and shadow boxing in my house. Whenever I got that little, fight's coming, it's 2 days time. Because it's normal. It's normal to get. Took the fight, won it, and then that was it.
What was the training like leading up to the fight? Like how was your training camp?
I knew running was key. Roy always said it. Roy took me under his wing for that fight, and he just drummed it into my head. You have to run. You have to run. So I knew, everyone kept saying it. All fighters say, are you running? Are you running? Are you running? So I knew there was something about running. So a lot of that, I was getting in the gym, just wasn't talking to anyone, just got on with it. I went sparring in Brixton. I always forget the name of the gym. It's AWFEE. Afiwi, is it Afiwi? And I went there sparring a couple of times. I remember there was supposed to be a big group of us going once, and I was just there standing by myself with these like 5 like heavyweights. I was like, oh man.
I remember that.
I
think I was meant to go with you. Like.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't think I got the phone call, or maybe I was somewhere else.
So there was supposed to be a group of us, and I'll never forget. And I just stood there. I was like, what am I doing, man? Like by myself. I thought there was going to be a little like bit of backup, like just to give me that. And it just went well for me. I don't know. I love it, and I enjoy it, which I think makes a big difference as well. If you enjoy it, you want to do better in it. If you do something you don't really like, you're just not gonna.
Yeah, you just
plod along, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. You get comfortable, like what most people do, like with work and anything. Like you see people at jobs so many years, and you're just like, why are you there? Like you're not pushing for anything, and it's just like they have a good balance. They just keep going. You're just almost in autopilot where you're just going along.
Well, it's like we said earlier. If you enjoy something, you do genuinely get better at it because you're enthusiastic about learning. It's like at the moment, I've got hours in between jobs at my work. Hours in between. I've got books. I'm watching YouTube videos of all these old coaches and what they've done. And me personally, the way I coach, I do see myself as one of the older fashioned coaches. You see some coaches, I don't really want to do that. I keep it way more, how can I put it?
Real.
Just realistic.
How it's going to be when you're fighting.
And that's how I coach. You're going to feel this. You've got to be able to do this. As much as that's all good, you see a lot of them do it, like, I mean, Mayweather does it all the time, Yarde does it, it's tap, 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 not looking and stuff like that. It's good and it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but for me, pushing forward with a fighter, I want to keep it more basic, being able to throw less punches but stronger and
fundamentals.
More. Yes, that's how I see mine, and I watch a lot on that and I bring it forward. I enjoy it. I love it. I really enjoy it, especially when you can see fighters coming on. They get better sparring, and you see them do things that you've told them to do outside when on pads and stuff like that. You think he's taking it in, and it does give you a sense of you get proud of your work. You get proud of your work, and they give you little things like thank you, Rory. When you were next in, are you coming in? It's just nice. I like it. I just enjoy it, and I like seeing people achieve things.
That's the main thing where we differ from a lot of people. Is people have said to me over the years, do you know what, Rico? Like, you're one person that I can come to and tell you what I'm doing, and you look genuinely happy for me. Like, so do you know what? I'm like my cousin's friend. I look at him as family. He's gone off to America to do what he's doing, like acting, and I'm like, bro, I really hope you make it. And he's like, bro, I know you really mean that. And I'm like, I do. I really want you to do well. I want everyone to do well. Like, whether me and you could fall out today.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that. I'm your mate.
Got me up at 8 this morning. Fucking hell. I was struggling. You know, deep down, I was like,
does he have to turn up at this time?
I was hoping, even though I was up, I was hoping that you just weren't going to turn up. Like, he's going to be like, do you know what, Rico, like, I've had to go here, blah, blah. Obviously, I wasn't hoping for an emergency because I wouldn't want anything to go bad with anyone. But maybe, you know, the car broke down.
You wanted a lay-in. You wanted a lay-in.
Got to wait for the gas, man. The boiler's gone. Like, just leave it. But do you know what, once I'd woken up, I was like, I'm up now.
You've got the whole day to enjoy yourself, Rico. That's what you got. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Get up on the weekends and enjoy the day at work. You get up not wanting to. You're like, I've got to go to work, so you're in a bad mood already. On the weekend, I like getting up early. Enjoy the days off. Do podcasts. Talk about boxing.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You'll appreciate it.
Learn more.
Learn.
To be fair, I watched a video on YouTube, I think last week or week before, and it's all about getting up at 5 a.m. or 5:30 in the morning and getting what you need to do done.
That's right, yeah.
Early,
yeah.
And then go to work, then do what you need to do after, and then just shut off. And I'm like, it makes sense because I get up, like I go to work, I finish work, I got like an hour in between, I have some food, go training, and after training, then I'll start wanting to maybe edit videos that I've done or start learning new stuff that I can bring into boxing and coaching. But then I'm tired. And then at that time, the key point they made is at that time of the evening, there's distractions. That's when everyone's awake. People are messaging you, people are ringing you, and it's like, how can you shut off from the world at that time? It's very difficult. Whereas in the morning, everyone that's awake at that time are on their purpose, as I like to say. Like, they're focused, doing what they're doing, just getting it in. But as I always wake up early anyway. Like, a lay-in doesn't happen for me, like, on any day. I wake up around 6, but then I force myself to go back to sleep. Like today, I think I woke up at about 6:30. I was like, oh, I need to go to the toilet.
Rory's coming round.
Went to the toilet, I thought, oh, let me get a couple more hours. But it's literally because of my day yesterday, my body is aching, absolutely aching. I'm just like, you know what?
Through training?
Yeah, through training. And getting the stuff done that I needed to do after.
Did you listen to that podcast I told you about? Faraz Zahabi with his
I've
training?
only listened to the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, you need to get in. See that ache? He'll explain that.
No.
He'll explain that. Listen, that one podcast. So, again, Joe Rogan. I listen to Rogan's podcast, especially when the coaches are on and stuff like that. And Faraz Zahabi, he was GSP's coach in the UFC. Very philosophical guy. He's got a lot to give, and that was one thing he was talking about, and it just changed my whole mentality on training. The whole way I train, because a lot of people think like you've got to get in the gym, blast and blast and blast until you hit that point where you go, yeah, I'm knackered. Tomorrow I'm gonna feel that ache, and he was like, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that, because if you get in the gym and you get that ache where you know when like you probably could train if you wanted to, right? But you know when sometimes you're at that point where you go, I can't train today. His thing is, just train every day to a point where you go, I'm happy with that session. So you can go again the next day. Instead of blasting out one day and then going, I can't train the next day. And then the next day you think, you know what, I'm going to leave it. And then I'll come back stronger. So instead of missing out 2 days, just train every day to a point where you go, yeah, I'm alright. I can go the next day. And it just made me think, it's so true. Like how many people blast and then they go, that's it, I'm done. That's a serious episode. Faraz Zahabi on the Rogan, incredible. I couldn't stop listening to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Do you know what it is? Because again, I get distracted. Where, say, if I'm listening, because I start listening to it during the day, and with my job, there's a lot of start-stop. Well, I'll be driving for about 5 minutes. I have it in my ear, and then alright, stop. Turn it off.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm in
one
someone's
that you need
house
to, yeah.
working, and then I come out, and then I thought, alright, cool, I'll do it again. Or if I'm working in, like, say I'm working outside, I'm not actually dealing with anyone. I've got it in my ear. I'll be listening. That's where I got the chunk of it when I was working outside. But then it was like, alright, stopped it. Then by the time I come home, then there's something else that I need to do now.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
no, that's one you really do need to just sit there and listen to. Because he does start going into like science and stuff like that towards the end, but it's not kind of sports related. But that first chunk of his coaching is really, I think as a fighter as well, it's worth listening to because you will benefit from listening to it. It was brilliant.
Even the walking up the stairs bit.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I do that now.
Yeah.
Listen to it. My knees out, feet forward, trying. Because it's crazy to think how I can run. Like I can run for an hour, even longer, steady pace. I could do sprints, but I struggle with stairs. I've always like.
Has it made a difference? Have you started doing it? Or
I started doing it. Like I tried to like walk up, but again, I don't know what it is. I think it's just maybe I need to strengthen my muscles a bit more. It's only like the last like maybe 2-3 years where. Do you know? I tell you lie. Probably since I started boxing and stopped playing football. Where football, I used to be in the gym,
of course,
doing my legs all the time, like, but not heavy weights, but I'd be doing loads of conditioning because I'm running all the time. At football, everything's running, sharp sprints, and then obviously with the boxing, I wanted to learn the technical side, so almost abandoned the weights and all that kind of stuff.
And your muscles will adapt to the boxing stance.
Yeah, so I'll be walking upstairs and I'll be with like my colleague, and then we get up a couple flights of stairs, and he'd be like, you're right, like you're breathing heavy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. He goes, bro, it's so weird. You can run all day, you can box, but you're out of breath when you're walking upstairs. I remember I went to the doctor about it. I said, is there anything wrong with me while I'm struggling to go upstairs? And, you shouldn't. Google it. Am I dying?
It's the worst thing ever, mate. It's the worst.
But I came to the realisation, what I think it is the fact that I wear like a heart rate monitor on my watch, and no free advertisement, by the way. So you're covered. But my resting heart rate and my normal heart rate is really low, and when you start walking upstairs, it's like you're exploding into activity. So now my muscles are dragging the oxygen, which is making my heart go quicker, which I feel that must be the reason where I'm quickly going into active exercises, because my heart rate's so low. Whereas the average person, maybe their heart rate's around 70, 80, just normally when they're doing what they're doing. So it's already pumping, they're already flowing, where mine's low, like mine's like 50, like 46.
Mine was 55 the other day.
Yeah.
That's good though, that shows you're fit.
Just generally, so I'm thinking, I'm jumping into activity by going up the stairs. It's like my muscles are straight away. Maybe if I warmed up and then walked up the stairs, I'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we went off topic there. We was talking about we
was
talking about being happy for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing that it's like, even with this podcast, Rico, you've probably told how many people? Everyone you know. Not all of them will like subscribe and tune in. Straight away you send it to me, subscribe. Like, you want your pals to do good.
You still haven't sent me your one.
Yeah, I did.
No, you sent me other people's ones, not your one.
Yeah, that is my one. I'll show you after.
You sent me like Rogan and
Fighter and a Kid. That's my favourite one. The Earthlings.
Yeah,
that's my one.
Oh, I didn't know that was your one.
Yeah, that's my one.
Okay.
I'll plug it later.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, just like, if a mate comes up to you and he wants to, I don't know, to start boxing, help him. Start him boxing. It doesn't mean he has to stay with you. Just say, look, whatever I can do, I'll do. But in your own time, go here, go there. They'll help me. They're my mates. But there's not enough people like that. There's not enough people like that in the world. And the thing is with me, as soon as I work with you, I just give you everything, and I end up feeling bad if I can't give you time, because I get that connection, especially in boxing. You get that connection because you're helping them achieve something. It's probably the same with, I don't know, football, rugby, anything, tennis, coaching. You get that little connection where you want them to do well. So
you're like their mentor.
Yeah, and I just get connected. I haven't got any enemies. I haven't got any. I love everyone that I've worked with, and I will give them whatever I can do. But there is a point where you sometimes have to go like, I can't do tonight. I'm tired, work, 3 kids. There's times where you have to go like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I don't like saying that, but it is what it is. There's a lot of time in boxing. You've got to give a lot of time to it, a lot of dedication. Yeah. It is not one of them sports you can just go in and out of. It just won't work. Yeah. It won't work. So, yeah, coaching-wise, I get the boys. I get them. I'll make sure they're running. Get them on apps. Join up a little app group. Make sure, post your runs and stuff so you can see if they're running. And when they don't, I've always said to every single one of the fighters I've coached, I don't want to say at the end of a fight, if you lose, it's because you never run. Please don't give me that excuse, because I don't want it. I'm telling you to run. When you run, screenshot and send it to me. It's as simple as that. I just would hate to say to them, it's because you weren't running. I don't like doing it. I don't like doing it, but
it's like an I told you so moment.
Yeah, and it's horrible.
I hate that as well.
Yeah, it's horrible, because you will go, oh, he's right. Like, there's no, you can't fight around it. You either have run or you haven't run. But to be fair, it's most people I work with are out there working, running, training hard. And fight nights are coming up fast. They're all getting involved. They're all enjoying it. We're getting wins. Yeah. The last show was tough. We had some tough fights on the last show we was out.
One out at the Grand.
Yeah, some tough fights.
Yeah, they were tough fights.
Yeah, I think we got 1 win. The rest were draws. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, but they were all tough fights. But they were even fights. They
Yeah,
weren't tough
that's what
fights
you
as in one was better than the other. It was, they all locked horns and was like, I'm winning.
Great matchup.
Yeah, it was all really good matches. They were draws and we got a win. But as a fighter, you got to come back stronger. It's like you said, Rico, yourself. You either say, fuck that, or you come back and think, you know what, I'm going to get better and go from there. So yeah, coaching life's, there's a lot to it, man.
When did you start coaching? Was it straight after your fight?
Pretty much, I wanted to get straight back in. I think...
So were you coaching before your fight?
No, I was completely selfish. I thought, if I'm fighting, I'm winning. And if I get told to do something, I'm going to do it. I think that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Get a coach. If you haven't got a coach and you're going here, there, it's going to be very hard because you're going to hear all different coaches' opinions instead of sticking with one and doing the way they work. Again, I've always said to people, if you like the way I work, stick with me. If you prefer someone else's coaching, go with them. I would never judge anyone if they said that to me, and I've always said that to them. So I was selfish in the fight, trained really hard, never been so fit in my life, never been so in such good shape. I've done everything that was asked, really. Had the fight, and then you hit a bit of a low after a fight. Not a low, you hit a bit of a... You've trained so hard, you peak, and then you do hit a bit of a... It's like a come down.
It's like, that's
and
it.
you think like...
Adrenaline dump almost.
Yeah, you go like... So I had about a week where I genuinely didn't want to do anything. And then I just went up to Roy in the gym and said, Roy, can I start holding pads for people? And ever since then, I've just loved it. I love it, absolutely love it. If I didn't think I was good at it, Rico, I'd be honest with myself. I'm very honest with myself. If I'm not good at something, I'll say I'm not good at something. If I've done something wrong, I'll put my hands up and say, my bad, completely and utterly sorry. If I had done something wrong and they lost because of it, I would say, my fault. He was counteracting what I was telling you to do and I didn't have a plan. But I would be completely honest with myself. I think I'm doing a pretty okay job. And I enjoy it. And everyone that I work with, there might be some people that say, well, they might differ, but most people I work with do like what I do. So I'm just going to forever do it, really. Yeah. And I want to get to the top. And I will get to the top because I know what I'm like.
You focus.
I want pros. I want pros under my belt. I will have pros under my belt. I just love it. I love coaching. I love fighting. I love being in the corner. I love cleaning them up in the corner. I just love everything about it. I love Vaseline. The whole thing is just such an adrenaline rush. And you're going to get wins, you're going to get losses. It just is life. It's how, when you lose, it's how you bounce back.
Yeah.
It really is. And that shows what a person you are, I think.
Like in all walks of life.
All walks of life.
You're going to take a setback, but it's not going to define you.
Yeah.
Like, you learn from it, and then you keep pushing on.
I've learned a hell of a lot over the last... It was when the fight night started, really. I've learned a hell of a lot about life, people, training, the way I look at like sportsmen, boxers. I've learned so much about just life in general. And it's changed me as a person. I'm aware that I've changed. If I can help someone, I will. If I can help someone walking down the street, I've always helped people. But I just look more to help people. Because I think the world needs more. I think the world needs more people just helping each other, bringing in, instead of, we'll do that. And then them wanting to get like better than you or push forward than you. I'm not saying don't get to the top of your game, but if you can help someone, especially friends, help them as well.
Do you know what? I saw like a few years ago a quote saying, if a candle lights another candle's flame, it doesn't diminish the light on its candle.
I've seen that. And it's true. It's
that's
so
what a lot
true.
of people don't see. They feel, all right, if I help you, it's going to stop me, or maybe you'll get better than me. But
I want to benefit.
Yeah.
They want to benefit from it.
But what they don't realise is that if you don't light that candle, someone else is going to light that candle. Eventually, that person's meant to be better than you. They will be. So you stopping them doing it is like, it just shows what sort of person you are. And it kind of reminds me of when our first conversation, when I first started the podcast, I wasn't aware that you had started a podcast. And I remember you saying, oh, do you know what, like, it's good what you're doing, Rico. I've been thinking of doing like a sports podcast. Like, what do you think? And first when I said to you was like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like,
oh, he's gonna go against mine.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, do it. And
it's mad,
little did I know, you were already in this world. You had so much experience. I didn't know this. I could have just been selfish like most people thought. Nah, do you know what? Don't do it, Rory. Yeah. It's not for everyone. Yeah. Not knowing that in levels, you could say you're up here and I was down here because I was just starting. And you've said something to me. You've asked me a question. I'm down here. And I'm like, yeah, do it.
Just, why not?
Yeah, just do it. Like, even when I started a YouTube page, I remember I was filming a prediction video of one guy. He's like, oh, do you know what? Like, I've been really thinking about doing this as well. Like,
do it.
I was like, do it. Like, why not? One of my mates, he started up a boxing Instagram page and he told me, oh, I was thinking of doing it. Do it. Like,
it really is as simple as that.
Yeah,
really.
just start it up. Like, if you, like, wherever you get with it, that was, not saying I'm very religious or anything, but that was God's plan for you. That was the plan for your life. Like, you do what you need to do. If you become a success, you're going to be a success. If you work hard to get somewhere and it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it doesn't, like, keep going.
I'm a big believer in fate, Rico. I think if you're supposed to be something or be somewhere at a certain time or something's happened, I'm a big believer. I've always been that way. And I genuinely think I was supposed to be in the boxing world. It might have taken me a little bit later than other people, but
little curves and then
it is. But I think you align, and then I think you hit a point where you go, that is me, and then I think that's when things start happening. Because like you said, you go round, you do this, you do that, you do that, you do that. It's like the bare knuckle boxing. I was involved with that, wrapping hands. I cornered a few of the fights. You're just supposed to end up somewhere and doing something, and that's when I think things happen. People will come to me, they'll want to do boxing, and along the road, there will be a pro with me in Sky Sports. That's the aim, get to Sky Sports, get a fighter that good and that big enough to end up on there. I will get there. And I will do my best. I don't even want to do it quick, Rico. I really want to get it right. I don't want to just get a pro and go, yeah, that's it, let's go. I don't want to do that. I want to get it right. And I think you've got to learn that. Before I was like, yeah, I want to get a pro, let's get one, But I've hit a point now where I'm like, don't rush it. It could that could go to people training boxing now. Don't rush it. Keep turning up training. Keep doing your thing. You might get the ump with yourself one time. You might spar. In a couple of weeks and get bashed up a little bit. So what? It's going to happen. That's the only way you learn. You've got to learn the hard way in boxing.
Yeah.
And again, that defines who you are. If you get bashed up and you go, that ain't me, you've got to go through the hard bits to get the good bits. And that is all about plodding on. And again, that's having a coach that you can bounce to say, oh, what happened there? Happened to me in the gym, I was telling you earlier. Happened in the gym, a guy got hit a few times and I had to go out, he walked outside and I knew he wasn't right. I knew something was wrong. And as a coach, it was my responsibility to go out there. Look, it's going to happen, mate.
Not just as a coach, as a person.
And as a person, as I was saying earlier, it goes down to even, I was at Alton Towers, Rico, there was this lady pushing her husband in a wheelchair up a hill and I could see she was struggling. I was like, I just looked and thought, I've got to help this lady. It's just about helping people. So I ended up pushing him up. He was like, oh, thank you, mate. Well, I would expect people to do that.
To do that, innit? It's like...
So it's in a gym, I expect someone to help. If someone's doing something wrong, correct them. All right, you might not be the coach in there, but you know enough about boxing to say, look, just pivot, or twist your hip, or slip as you're throwing that, or just anything, just help each other. And that's what, again, the a good boxing club, you'll have people in there helping.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk into a club where everyone looks at you and throws you in a ring straight away sparring. That is one thing. If you're thinking of starting boxing, do not just jump in the ring sparring, because you might think you're a good fighter out there, but the ring is a completely different ball game.
Unforgiving.
It is unforgiving, because you'll think you can have a fight, but when you get in the boxing ring, it is a different ball game.
Yeah.
Even like when I've done the bare knuckle stuff, that is a different ball game. A totally different ball game. They're boxers, but there's a different style of fighting. It's not boxing without gloves, in my opinion. There's way more the hand movement. You won't see in a bare knuckle fight someone standing in there tucking up like that. It's very rare, because the fists are small. You ain't got the glove on, so you can get around and you see the people. There's more of like a swing with the hook. They come around to get around the guard, because it's obviously less. That was an eye opener, the bare knuckle, mate.
So when did you start getting involved with that?
That was a little roller coaster. That was. I jumped on a roller coaster with that, and I went with it, and then I come back off of it for a little bit. It was funny. It was really weird that I was following a guy, Richard Glacier, on Instagram. I'm sure that's his name on it still. Richie Glacier, that's his name anyway. And I started following. I followed him for about a year and a half, and we was like, always keep it up, Rich. I was always like, he was doing things and achieving things, and I like seeing people do it. So I was like, he done like a marathon. I was like, Rich, great stuff, man. Keep doing it. And then he posted, I want to get back into boxing. I've got my first fight coming up. He was an ex-pro. I've got my first fight coming up, coming out of retirement, and I'll text him straight away. That's wicked, Rich. Go for it, man. If you want to do something, do it. And I text him and I said, Rich, if there's anything I can do to help, I'll come along. And he went, oh, great stuff, mate. You can come and corner me. I was like, all right, yeah, 100%. It was in Coventry. And so we bounced text back, made my way to Coventry, like, yeah, I've got a boxing show. And as I pulled in there, it was a big leisure centre, and don't ask me why, it just dawned on me, what's the name of the show? And I remember it was You Be Bad, it was. I was like, You Be Bad. And then it was BKB something. And I was like, bare knuckle boxing. And I was like, it's fucking bare knuckle. And I was like, I questioned myself. I was like, this ain't what I do. I'm gloves. Like, I don't. And I thought, raw, go with it, whatever, man. Do you know what I mean? Just get in there. And I was in and around. I was out the back. There was a lady, Sammy. She was wrapping their hands, and I was like watching her, like, fuck, is that all they're fighting in? Like, it literally is a bandage with some tape. It's like, it's hardly any bandage around the hand. And I was standing there, I was watching her, and there was all these fighters coming in. Like, they were quite bolshy, and she just had a lot of work to do. Like, I could see her like, boom, boom, rap, 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 rap. And then it was our turn to go out, and he come out and I was like, what am I doing here? It was one of the best shows I've ever been. It was unbelievable. I couldn't fault it. It was absolute. I didn't think it was what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be...
Yeah, because I got stigma already.
Yeah, so I had that stigma. You think, hey, Bales, blood everywhere, everyone shouting, throw. You just think of it as a
Snatch.
violent... Yeah, you think of Snatch.
Yeah.
The complete opposite, Rico. There wasn't one fight in the crowd. There wasn't as much blood as I thought there was going to be. I thought there was going to be cuts and blood
every hit.
Yeah, just every hit, bang, bang. And it just wasn't. There was a lot of lumps, bruising and stuff like that. But there wasn't that. There were some cuts. And so I cornered him. He didn't win, but it was just a proper good show, Rick. There was no hay bale. There was no like bales, and it was in a boxing ring. All the lights, all the tables, VIP table. It was just brilliant. So I'd done that, and then he had another fight, went to that, and I ended up for a little bit helping Sammy do the wraps. And I was wrapping all the fighters' hands, and there is a different way of doing it. She showed me how to do it, and basically I've done what she showed me. they were nice blokes. I just had that stigma of they're going to be all violent, horrible, wanting to fight everyone. But they weren't. They were just really polite. Thank you, Rory. Thank you. Like it was nothing what I thought it was going to be. And I think that bare knuckle's going to really blow up. I think something's happening with them, as in getting airtime. Because they're already on. I think it's Dave they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a show on Netflix that they're on as well. That's all on there. I think I'm in and around that. That doc, I'm sure I see me in the back, but yeah, I'm there. But that bare knuckle was great. I love it. I really like it. I didn't think I was going to, because I thought it's not boxing, but it is. They're tough guys, man. If there's one fight I'd say go and watch, is Tony Lafferty versus Tyler Goodjohn. Both ex-pro. I think Tyler Goodjohn's an ex-pro. Tony Lafferty done Muay Thai.
Tyler Goodjohn.
Yeah, tattoos, braid. He had the long hair. He is
He was sure when he fighting like recently.
Yeah,
pro boxer.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
yeah, I remember that name.
He's been in there last year. But watch that fight. Goodjohn versus Lafferty. It is.
Yeah, wait, didn't Tyler Goodjohn? Didn't he fight Martin J. Ward?
He fought someone that we know. A pro. I can't think. I should have looked that up before that. It's only just come to me though about the. But yeah, watch that fight, and you'll see what I mean. They're tough, man. Yeah. Tough guys. So I slipped into there, and then I'm not involved with it now. I'm sure I will down the line, because I do really enjoy it. But yeah, back to the gloves, really.
Do you know what? On that bare knuckle thing, talking about the whole stigma, I remember you were going to a show. And you said, Rico, you can come along, because you know.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I just love turning up. Any show, you always say, you always see me. I'm everywhere.
You're always in and around.
Yeah, and that just shows the passion I have for it. Right, I want to be just involved. Like I want to. Obviously, I want to fight, but when I'm not fighting, I still want to be there. I still want to be around everyone. I still want to help calm people's nerves if I can. I still want to.
You want to help?
Yeah, exactly.
What we're saying.
I remember you saying, we've got this I could jump in with you, we go up and watch the fight. In the back of my mind, is the stigma I had where I thought, if it was a normal boxing fight, I would have cleared my diary to come with you. But where it was like, not saying I was busy, but because it was a bare knuckle boxing fight, it wasn't high on my priority list. I was kind of like, I'm going to go there, it's just going to be, gonna be loads of like, it's just, it's just...
You think they're different people.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not. Honestly, if Frank Bruno was there, I saw Frank Bruno.
I wish I came now.
Yeah, it was, Marcus Stevenson. He had a fight, didn't he? And he was like, can you come down? Because he knew obviously I was doing it. I cornered Marcus, and even he said, I'll take my hat off to Marcus. He's a great guy, man. He's a great
he loves
guy.
it.
I love it. And
he's a fighter.
He is a fighter.
He'll fight on one day's notice.
Yeah, he would.
I could probably call him now. I've got his number. Hey, look, come meet me outside and we have a fight. Like, yeah, come.
He done it, and he said, Rory, it is different. Eventually I had to throw the towel in. He was just taking too many shots. Because Marcus is the type of fighter. Everyone's got their style of fighting. Marcus is very tuck up, take a few, throw some, but you can't do it with bare knuckle. It is you, and that's the difference I'm saying. There is the bare knuckle. You see a lot of them. Their leading hand is out here. So just way more. So you're pushing. Yeah. You're like that, because then you want to come over. You're constantly trying to get out the way. You're how can I put it? You're even more defensive because you're aware you're getting punched with a fist instead of with a glove. Do you know what I mean? So there's a different. Like the guard in boxing with gloves, you're more here. You're working from here, boom, boom. The bare knuckle, you're more. Yeah. You actually bring your hand over. They say do that because you want to tuck up as much as you can. You got to show the least amount of your head as possible. So there is a difference. You couldn't just turn up and have a bare knuckle. I think it'd be a bad idea. You could, and you could win, but I wouldn't. I'd try and do. You see a lot of them hitting pads with their knuckles and the bags, and they do a lot with they'll do push up with just to strengthen the.
Yeah, you don't want none of that. Man.
But that was a little roller coaster. That was. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I will be back there someday. But yeah, I'm just focusing now, Rico, on coaching. Yeah. It's kind of a new start this year for me. I've got a lot more time where I can research, work on things, and I'm at a new club now that is 5 minutes from my house, so I can take my son with me, and I'm getting a lot of time with the fighters there, as in doing different things with them, footwork, pad work.
Oh, so you're not having to worry so much about the warm up and everyone.
Yeah.
The big group, you can get them away.
So the days I'm at this new club, it's basically they walk in, they'll get on with it, they'll get the pads because the ring's already up. Like sparring, they'll say like you'll see them go in the ring, but I like to kind of watch the sparring. But I can just drag certain people away, and at the moment it's working. At the moment it's working, and I've kind of got that thing back now of I want to do more than what I'm doing. I'm passionate about it. I love it. I love it, mate. I love everything about it, which is why you've got to learn. You've got to bet yourself. You've got to bet yourself, and that is any walk of life. Bet yourself. You can learn. I listen to a lot of podcasts, not even sports related, and you just learn that everyone's got insecurities. Everyone's thinking in their head there's a lot going on in everyone's head, and I can speak for a large amount of people with that. People overthink things like, should I do that? Should I go there? If I go boxing, what will people watch? Am I doing it right? Everyone's got insecurities. A lot of people are sensitive. A lot of people don't do things because they're worried about what other people are going to think.
Exactly.
And I've hit a point in my life where I want to say to these people, look, I'm 35. I'm not talking like I'm an old wise owl, but I know people will relate with what I've just said there without saying to people, yeah, he's right. Like there's a lot of people overthink things. So again, if you're listening to this and you do want to get into boxing, go, man. Just go.
Just do it.
Just go. Talk to your coach. Ask him. Your coach will be honest with you and he'll tell you about it. But I've just learned a lot about me and life, and I'm loving it at the moment. To be honest, I'm enjoying every minute.
I'm feeling the energy right now as well.
It's getting a bit hot, man.
Yeah. I literally I've got pads and everything now. I just want to go outside every now and just do a little bit. Like that's how I'm feeling.
It's good, and I'm just on a good train. And one of my friends sent me this video about. And it really hit home. I was like, bloody hell, man, that's so true. It was like a little video that everyone messages around. So that's a new thing now, isn't it? And he messaged me.
Is it clean, yeah?
It's clean, all clean. And it shows a train, and he was saying life is like a train. Like people will get on your train, and some will stay. Some will stay on your train to the long run because they like what you're about, they like what you do, they like your energy, they like the way you see the world, they like the way you see people, and they will stay on that train. But some will get off. But that's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't judge them, and don't think, was that me? It's not you. Just people will get on and off your train, but the ones that stay on it are meant to be on that train. And when I watched that video, I was like, that's so true, man. So true. I'll have to send you all walks of life,
relationships, even family. Like family, you're family by blood, but sometimes
they'll get on and off the train.
Yeah.
Some of them will stay, some will get on and off. But again, don't judge them for it. Don't get the ump with them for it. It's with boxing as a coach. I'll work with some people. Some people go. Some people stay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like them because they've gone. They want to go on and try something different. I wish them the best of luck, and I always will. I don't hold any grudges with anyone. But if you're with me, you're with me. I'll give you everything I've got. I'll give you, and that's the way I coach. Life and in the boxing ring, they can talk to me about anything, and I'll give them the best advice I can. It's the way I work. So yeah, that's how I see the world and boxing and coaching. That is me. It's what are you doing? What are you with now? Are you on the same sort of thing, or are you just focusing coaching?
No, it's weird because I still want to fight, but I love coaching. I think it's...
Right, see, can I stop you there? See, you just said, I want to fight, do the fight.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to you. Do the fight.
Yeah.
Get that little itch that you've got, get rid of it, do it, and then coach. Would be, if I was your coach, that's what I'll be saying to you, do it.
That's what my coach Cliff told me yesterday.
There you go.
He was like, I said, look, with the sessions, I'm still here to help out. I'm doing my England level 1 next month. And he's like, well, look, you've got a couple of years left of fighting, whilst your body can still do it. Let's just focus on that. Like, get you to the championships, maybe end of this season or maybe next season. See how it goes, and then focus on your coaching. So because you can still part-time do coaching, help out here and there. If you've got friends that, you know, they want you to maybe train them in your spare time, do that, but don't lose your focus. And already I've noticed that where there's a few people around that have said, oh, do you know what, Rico? Like, I'll pay you for you to train me. Just, you know, got a fight coming up. What days can you do? Like, can you do this day, this time? And I'm like, I'm training. So, as you say, you got to be selfish. So I'm like, I have to focus on myself because I know how wrong it could go if I'm not just the fact of like obviously there's the whole health issues that can affect you if you get hurt, but the fact that I don't want to lose. I'm like, I do not want to lose, so I need to do what I need to do for me. I've said to people, do you know what, all right, that day and time I'm training, but come training with me. Come to the club I'm going to and you can train with me and the coaches, and they can do what they need to do. It'll be cheaper for you as well. You know what I mean?
You do become a personal instructor.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely do, yeah.
Like, just come down to the club and let one of the coaches train you. It's like, yeah, but because they know you as a person, and that's the whole thing of not wanting to maybe look bad. They want to be with you, and I'm kind of like, I don't care about the money. For me, it's not about the money. Like, I want you to do well, so come with me and let my coach train you.
That's more in the fighting world. I find that it's not about money. I mean, we all have to earn, of course, and we all have to provide for our families. But in general, when you're training someone, it's not about the money, because you've got that bond with them of, I don't want them to lose.
Exactly.
So the money goes out the window. And it is tough because you're tired, you've got to get home, you've got to get up for work in the morning. So it is a bit of a clash. But yes, we're all in the same thing, Rico. We're all in the same.
And the type of like coach that I know I'm going to be, even where I've been like training friends already to build my experience, for me, you have to do it right. Like, there's no, as you say, you watch videos, you see coaches out there, they've got loads of clients, they got loads of followers on their page, they're throwing out all this stuff, and then I'm watching, I'm thinking, that person's paying you, but they're not doing it right. Like, I'm just all about technique. You just have to do it right. Yeah. Whatever you do, just
if you're fighting, you've got to do it right. Yeah, you can't just turn up
and that even for the casuals, I still want them to do it right. I know there's times where everyone has their own methods in it, but my thing's just about doing it right.
All coaches are different. You're going to coach different from me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to coach different from him. He's going to coach different to her. She's going to coach different to him. Everyone's different, which is why I say to people, as soon as I work with them, if it works with me, stay with me. If it doesn't, try someone else.
Exactly that.
Because everyone's different. Everyone in the world's different.
Yeah.
And I respect that. You just got to find your little way and just go with it. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny because obviously I found like a few coaches, obviously so you should stick with one, but I found a few coaches that I've learned something from each of them, and I have a different bond with each coach. Like, I've got a different bond with you, obviously different bond with Dougie, Anthony, even Marco and Micah down at the Cuban Club. It's like I get a little something from everyone, and each of you light a different thing inside me. So when I come to you, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to get this from Rory. Yeah. And I go there and we do what we do, and then, all right, I know I'm going to get this from Dougie. Go to Dougie, I get that. Different coaches, I know what I'm going to get from you, and it's kind of like, it's almost like therapy.
It is, definitely.
Like, all right, do you know what? I'm gonna go see him today.
You know what? Even that, Rico, even what you just said, it makes sense, right? So you go to him. You know what? I feel like brushing up on. Do something like that with him. Doing so. Use that to your advantage. Do you know what I mean? Like, I respect that. Use that. Take it from him. Take that from him. Take that from him. Take that from me. But if it works for you, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I'm never going to say, don't do that, mate. That's the wrong way to do. take it. Boom, 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 boom.
It's about honesty as well.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I find.
what I would say is a fight camp, getting ready for a fight. Get one of them and go, you know what? I'm going to stick with him for this fight camp. For a fight camp, I definitely wouldn't go boom, boom, boom.
Oh, no,
Because
definitely.
your brain goes, stick with one for a fight. After the fight, again, ping, pick. And then pick one for a certain fight. That's what would be my...
But you remember at one point, you didn't see me for a while. Because I was in that
Yeah,
mode.
there you go. Yeah.
I had to stay where I was.
It.
I was with my coach. I was there every day, banging it out to a point where obviously the fight didn't happen. Season was coming to an end, and it's like then I just started to, because I knew I wasn't fighting. Started to like get my therapy again.
Yeah, that's
moving
it.
around.
No, I love it, mate. I love it.
Yeah, it was good, man.
So on that, Rico, what I would say to you as a coach. Do that fight, because I can see there's an itch there.
Oh, trust me.
Do it, because it will get in the way of you with the coaching. Because you'll be thinking, I need to be doing something myself. And you'll start, because I find it very hard to do things myself. Like at the moment, all I'm doing really is getting out and running. I'm doing my running, and when I'm in the club after padding everyone and working with them, I'll jump on the bag 3, 4, 5 rounds. So if you're thinking, I'm not thinking of fighting. If you're thinking of fighting, I would say do that.
100%.
I'll do that.
I still have that urge to test. I don't feel like I've fully tested myself, where even back to football, alright, I didn't train. Like I was the worst trainer. Any club I go to, you can tell them I was the worst trainer. I've never got into a football team through training. It's always been training, then they put you in the game situation, and it's like
I know
he's alright, he's pretty good. But that's because my whole thing of, I've always found it hard to switch on in training because it's not real.
You haven't got a goal at the end. That's why.
Yeah.
You need that, I've got a fight coming up.
Exactly.
And that's when you see it as a coach, you see it as a fighter. You see the fighters, you see them, there's a little switch that goes in their head, and that is when you've got to keep grabbing them, because you can see they're in that fight mode.
Yeah, they're in that zone.
And you see the people turning up that just want to train and just get on with it, but you do see who's the ones that have got their head knuckled down and they're really going for it and taking it seriously.
But that's the thing, I still took football seriously, but I didn't do the extras because I was always good enough to play where I was at. It's a silly mentality I had at the time, where I could have been so much better, but I didn't do the extras that you need to. They say with football, I wasn't running, it wasn't after training, I'm not doing extras, I'm not practicing.
1,000 free kicks.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that kind of stuff, because it was almost like with the football, it becomes a social thing where all your friends, you've all grown up playing football together. You go in there, you're there for the banter. Football's all about the banter. The Saturday away game, getting on the coach, like everyone's there on the coach, like playing cards. Everyone's laughing. It was just such a great environment to be in, and it's almost like
There's a lot of I don't know. Boxing and football for me now is just completely different. I'll wait for no, I don't even watch it.
Same.
I couldn't even name the Chelsea team. I literally don't think I could tell you the Chelsea team. My boy knows more, and he's 7. I've just completely.
I think money ruined it.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that you can't tackle. I was the defender, and now you can't tackle. Players are getting
Mad.
booked.
I know, it's madness.
For anything.
They're rolling around and all that, and you think there's people getting punched in the face and taking it and fighting back, and you're getting a little clip on the ankle and you're flying around like you broke. I can't do it anymore. I've just completely lost it. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to the Gal and Eubank now, mate.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. That's the
What do you
next
think?
one. I can see Eubank winning it. It's just the way I see it. I just think the Gal's going to start off tricky. It's going to go kind of the Eubank Groves, but it's going to go that kind of way where Groves is on the back foot, bang bang, moving. Eubank really can't land, but I can just see the Gal's had a few tough fights, and I just don't know if I can see him wearing the Gal down eventually to then finish him in the later rounds.
Because he likes to sit on the ropes as well.
And I think Eubank loves that. He wants you there. He wants you there. So I can see him just breaking him down. He couldn't do it with Groves. Groves was too good. And I think Groves was at a point where he was the best I've ever seen him. I just think the gal's had a few big fights, man, and I think it's taken its toll a bit.
And he likes to party as well. That's the problem. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
If you go to Ibiza at the right time, you'll see him.
Yeah.
You'll see him at Ocean Beach.
So yeah, that's my prediction anyway. I just think a late stoppage for Eubank.
It's weird because I see it going the same way. I can't really see Eubank beating him on points because of the early rounds. I feel like he may mess up the early rounds.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be the gal at the beginning.
Yeah. Maybe he can nick it on points, but I feel Eubank needs to win where the girl doesn't. The girl, he's achieved everything. It's a bit of a grudge match, but it's like he's at the end. Like, what's after for him? Where Eubank, he's still young. Like he hasn't been.
That's why I want him to win it. I kind of want Eubank to win it because of that. Because he can push on. I want to see. He's great to watch, Eubank. I do like him. The gal he wins. What happens really?
Yeah, he's just.
All right, you might get the Groves and the gal, but
again,
that's going to be a money spin.
Yeah.
It's not Eubank's going to want to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it'll be better to watch. So yeah, that's my prediction. Late stoppage for Eubank.
What about Pacquiao Broner coming up next weekend?
Oh, there was a lot about Broner on another podcast I was listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's a weird
Pacquiao
one.
just keeps going, doesn't he? He just keeps going.
He's a beast.
Broner. I don't know. If I had to put £1 million on it, I'll put it on Broner. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he's actually gonna step up this time?
Every time. I know.
Every big fight he's had, he doesn't turn up.
Mind you, he's got a lot going on outside. He's got a lot going on outside of the ring. So
you know, he won like 300 amateur fights, Broner.
Oh, he's incredible.
He was such a great talent, but he's just, as they say, he's still got that. I think my cousin said on the last podcast, a lot of these boxers, they're still trying to rep the hood.
Yeah, that's right.
He still wants to be a gangster almost.
Yeah.
You still want to show your friends, I'm still one of you. You can still be one of everyone, but do it the right way and influence them to get out of that lifestyle.
I say Broner because I know what he's technically capable of, but then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know with that one. I don't know.
You change your
I just don't know.
Get £1 million back. Sorry, it's been deposited.
If I had to put it on someone, I would probably put it on Broner. But that's a tough fight to call.
For me, I think Pac-Man just outworks him.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I can't really, like, Broner, he doesn't throw enough punches to fight someone like Pacquiao, and he doesn't counter well enough to keep Pacquiao off him, I don't think. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a knockout or anything like that. I just think Pacquiao will get little shots in, get out, as he's coming in, these little hooks, and yeah, as you say, he's just a machine, and he looked great against Matisse in his last fight. He's
one of the greats, man.
Yeah, he is, man. Definitely, man. But yeah, Broner, man, he's got way too much going on.
Well, they're the first two fights, aren't they? They're the first two fights coming up.
Yeah.
They're the big ones, really, aren't they? Yeah, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Broner. Thing is, I need to ordered something actually. I need to get a little proper calendar up.
That's true, yeah.
Because a lot of these fights, some of them just whistle by, and you forget.
I watch the UFC. I love the UFC, and every now and then I'll flick through BT. Is it on this weekend? And I'll go on there, and there'll be a massive fight, and then you just lose it. And that's one thing I haven't got as well. I haven't got Instagram on my new phone. I refuse to put Instagram on my new phone because of the time you sit there scrolling. But then what I have found is you don't keep up to date with what's going on.
Yeah,
and that is
catch-22.
Fucking catch-22, man, because I don't want it on there. I waste so much time. Instead of scrolling through that, I'd now rather watch a coaching video. Yeah. Watch some. Do you know what I mean? That's my new little thing. I'm not putting Instagram. So if you haven't seen the Be Your Own Story on it active, that is why. Because I don't want to waste hours flicking through that.
Give me 1 second. I need to go toilet.
I'm busting.
I am busting as well. I'm drunk like that much water. Alright, so
Rico, let's wrap this up, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where can they find you if they wanna?
Right, so Instagram is Be Your Own Story.
All one word.
All one word, B_your_own_story.
That's not all one word, but yeah.
Right, yeah, you know what I mean. So it's under that. Yeah, that's about it. Just there'll be more and more this year. I'm going to make sure I put a lot more stuff up.
And you got your own podcast as well?
Podcast is We Are Earthlings. I'm vegan, so it's vegan related, plant-based related. So if you are, or you want to listen, We Are Earthlings. And yeah, that's about it, mate, really. We've got fight nights coming up in March. Clapham, Grand and Infernos. I'll have to get you the dates to put in the info bar.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll be there as well if anyone wants to.
He will definitely be there.
Yeah,
He'll be running around
floating
somewhere
around.
in the rooms and everywhere.
He might
He might be fatty.
Yeah, exactly, because that's after my potential fight date. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Rico, thanks for having me, man. This is
Oh, thanks
wicked,
for
and I'm
coming,
glad I've come along. When I saw the sofa, I was like, yeah, I've got to get on that sofa and talk about.
Yeah.
I just hope I don't know. I've got someone that's thinking about boxing, getting them out there and doing it, because it ain't as big and scary as some beginners will think. So yeah, if I could help someone, I'd like that.
I'm buzzing right now.
Rico, thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
I am buzzing. Thanks for watching the video, Reekz Boxing. If you enjoyed the video, just give it a little like down there. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Just subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you'd like to see us talk about, what sort of videos you may like to see. We get it cracking.